This bill that went through the House of Commons yesterday, I'm very torn by it. There was a time where I agreed with it and I supported it, but recent experience has taught me otherwise. Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Hope you're well, thank you for joining me. I of course refer to the bill that was passed, which is entitled assisted. I don't want to say the word just in case it annoys YouTube, but you know what I mean. I wanted to tell you, from my point of view, two stories which really tear me in two as to whether I can get behind this or not. And I encourage anyone to leave your own thoughts and stories in the comments too. Years ago, probably 9 years getting on now, my stepfather died from, let's call it the big C. And it was heartbreaking, to be honest, because you could see what was happening. You could see what was going to happen. And you could see the suffering, not only from the family, but from him as well. And, you know, it's an awful thing to witness, and it's an awful thing to watch, and somebody you care about just gets completely and utterly eaten away and destroyed, and there's nothing you can do to relieve the suffering. Well, nothing legal. And I remember thinking at the time, if I could just be given something to end the suffering, and I knew I couldn't get into any trouble for it, could I do it? Fairly recently, I've, you know, 2.5 years ago, it'll be 3 years in June, unbelievably, a very dear friend of mine passed away from the same thing. Again, we will call it the big C. And, you know, he was ever such a hard worker, you know, worked very closely with me, and we were very good pals. He was a father figure in my life. That's what it was like. And, you know, this June it will be 3 years. And again, he passed away. He suffered. And you just looked at the hell that they go through. And you think, you wouldn't put a dog or a cat through this, would you? Why would a human? And, you know, again, I supported the idea that if there was really no hope, no other way, then that individual should be given the choice, or you know, the families and the individual should be given the choice as a whole. And then I roll forward to recent times. We have an elderly relative who, she's 88, who ended up in hospital after having a seizure, and she ended up contracting something to do with her brain. And it didn't look good. It really didn't look good. 2 days after she was admitted to hospital, we were actually told that no hope, couldn't do anything, take everything away, let nature take its course. And later on that day, she spoke. She mentioned my child's name. And we were like, okay, we need this reassessing now. And now she's still here. She's fully with it, she's getting better and everything else. So she's gone from death's door to, you know, on the way to recovery. And if this bill was in place, would there have been a different outcome? So because of what's gone before and what's now, I'm really torn by this. I really don't know whether I can support it or not. I don't know what you think. I really wanted to tell you these 3 individual cases to, you know, put my thoughts across and see what you thought about it. And we'll have a talk. Anyway, thank you. Watch these videos. I'll talk to you soon.